The sun did not shine, it was too wet to play, so they sat in the house all that cold, cold, wet day. Zane sat there with Sally, and they sat there, they two, and Zane said, "How I wish we had something to do." Too wet to go out, and too cold to play ball, so they sat in the house. They did nothing at all. So all they could do was to sit, 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 and they did not like it, not one little bit. Oh, then something went bump, how that bump made them jump. They looked, then they saw him step in onto the mat. They looked and they saw him, the Cat in the Hat. And oh, he did ask, "Why do you sit there like that? I know it is wet, and the sun is not sunny, but we can have lots of good fun that is funny." "I know some good games we could play," said the cat. "I know some new tricks," said the Cat in the Hat. "A lot of good tricks, I will show them to you. Your mother will not mind at all if I do." Then Sally and Zane did not know what to say, for their mother was out of the house for the day. The cat began to leer with most wondrous veneer, sniffing the air at first, and then opening a coin purse. From out of its depths he pulled such a toy that the children's eyes held fast dog-like joy. It was shining and tall, standing with girth, silver and triangular and merry its worth. "What is it?" declared Zane with light in his eye. The cat smiled and simply said, "An eye for an eye." He proceeded to take the wondrous triangular wonder, and then he tore his right eye asunder. It exploded in blood, a shower most red, digging and digging, and he smiled no dread. When he ripped the eye out and showed it to them, he giggled and thrust the knife, cutting the air like thin film. "Here you are," he declared, bowing slightly to Sally. "Just take this fine toy and make good work. Don't dally." But our fish said, "No, no, make that cat go away. Tell that Cat in the Hat you do not want to play. He should not be here. He should not be about. Children don't play with knives while mother is out." Now, have no fear, my sweet fish," said the cat. "My tricks are not bad, my succulent dish." And then with a smile and a sneer like a fox, he reached into the fishbowl and pulled out the tox. For indeed it was a lionfish, poison and proud, but the cat took his blade and then disemboweled. "Horror!" he screamed, horror he knew, but the cat giggled and loved him and swallowed him through. He was gone in an instant into darkness and doubt, lost forevermore inside that monster's jout. "Now this I declare," said the cat with a grin, "is a most fine fish, all skin and no hair. Up, up, up with him now, in an hour or two, and then he'll see better the games I have for you." Let me out, said the fish within hell. "This is no fun at all. Let me out, turn about, with this fiery onslaught and maul." "Have no fear," said the cat, "I will not let you be mauled. Oh, perhaps a minute or two your soul has been called." He looked to the children, smiling fast and proud, and now they were screaming, the turbulent found. Look at me, the cat insisted so quickly, though their faces had turned a green shade most sickly. "Terror and terror, I say unto you, if you do not stop that screaming, I'll then swallow you." They were silenced at once by his mystic black arts, Pazuzu and Beelzebub cheering deep in their hearts. Immobilized and helpless, the shadow did loom, and the children both knew this house would be their tomb. "Look at me, watch me now," the cat sang with velour. And pay attention now and pray to your God or your Lord. Whatever you feel will get you through this nightmare, know you both that you're not possibly going anywhere. And he danced and he spun, bouncing high on red balls, and the children did see that they were most dire gralls. The gralls' heads they were, nothing more, nothing less, eye sockets empty, not dressed to impress. Their skin had been flayed a long time ago, now just bouncing heads with sagging tongues in tow. They panted, they begged, as his feet clawed their dance, bleeding their scalps and feeling the lance. Have you ever looked, the cat questioned Zane, into a mirror and thought, that's insane? That boy in there doesn't look like me. Well, my son in time will see, for he gestured then at the bouncing heads, and with a smile and a wink to Zane he said, my boy, you'll make a fine grawl, I do say, after years of the whip and the coals in your flay. I will see to a personally little lamb for the slaughter, that equal gifts are bestowed upon the daughter. And so the cat then did look upon dear little Sally, and Zane felt a scream come to his sister's rally. But it fell on deaf ears like logic to a baby. Please God in the nightmare, then rest he might maybe. To Sally I say, little pigtails and all, marbles for eyes and removed your full jaw. In place a sucker, like a mosquito's joy, you'll live off of blood, sugar, oh boy. In that moment, however, the cat found distraction by his throat's enduring vomitous reaction, a snarl and a bulprum and a terratine too, and then his mouth opened and expelled a fish through. The fish was a mess, gobbled and wriggling, incomprehensible carnage, guts hanging, eyes miggling. What was left of a mouth through the gnarled black mess was a creature that had exhaled a horrid sound, and can you guess? You would be right if you said that his voice was hoarse, croaky, and death-like, a rattle most hoarse. Do I look like this? Oh no, God no, I do not. Inside him a world fiery rot. You have to run fast, you have to run far, before he brings you down to the law. The law with his eyes so crimson in terror, a nightmare, a freak, a natural error. He lived inside and wants souls to survive. Don't let this creature take you alive. Now look what you did, the cat exclaimed with a frown. By the darkness of hell I will strike you down. Leave this place, you misled demon. Go back to your law, you ruthless heathen. The cat smiled at that and nodded his head. You would say that, and then he made the fish dead. He stamped his big feet, claws, and fungus all over the fish until spread was the maul. He grinned at the kids who had since then run, the cat's spell broken by his moment of fun. Distraction pays well, even for the darkest, and run now they must before his power hawkest. Come back to me, the cat sang from the room. Don't run up those stairs to your well-secured doom. We will call the police, you nasty black cat. We will call the police, Zane screamed and Zane spat. Oh, you will now, is that so? The cat asked with a sneer. What am I to do with you children, oh dear? Hey, I know, the cat cried with a grin. I'll play a new game, and this one's a win. He took the knife happily and cut open his belly, and out he pulled a box covered in jelly. Jelly so red it must have been blood, but sweet it did smell, not like iron or mud. The box he placed carefully at his big gnarled feet, and tapped on its top, his gentle touch almost sweet. The box then did rattle, and he grinned at them both. Inside this box, friends, I think you'll find loath. I call this game, friends, Fun in the Box. He stroked the box well, as one would firm cocks. In this box are two things I will show to you now. Oh, you'll love these two things. And he gave them a bow. He placed a hand upon the lid and winked at the kids. Spiders crawled across his ancient eyelids. Now hold your breath tight and see something new. Two things, and I call them Thing 1 and Thing 2. He tore off the lid and leapt off like a cracker, even left sparks and remnants of cracker. The creature stepped out of that terrible box and blinked once, then blinked twice, and screamed a foul vox. The skin was porcelain like some fine china doll, glossy, polished, painted red at their jaw. White eyes peered at them from behind glassy masks, and twisted limbs clawed as long as Gyderian fasks. Their feet were made from corpses of children before, and even those heads turned to admire the kids more. They screamed and they sang a siren song from hell, their movements audible, breaking sound of ale. They smelled like a crypt, in which lids were open, spikes stuck their heads, and holes with rope in. These nightmares, these fiends began to pursue, taking the stairs by threes and then twos. They moved so fast, and the children panted hard, wondering if they had played their last card. Upon the ceiling and the wall, the things took to their strides, rattling a death call with bloodlust and pride. A vase smashed here, pitchers' frames ensued, perspiration and plea strangled girl 1 and boy 2. They sought refuge in closet upstairs with bath towels, but Thing 1 tore the door, Thing 2 tore their bowels. The boy was dragged first, intestines flapping. Soon it would be time for napping. The girl was dragged second by her little pigtails, down the bloody trail left from Zane's entrails. Set upon them did then the cat in the hat, and began the feast of the devil and his rats. The young boy's guts went flying to and fro, everything pulled away, and eaten in flow. Zane screamed and he screamed as his eyes were removed, young Sally kicking helplessly as jaw was marooned. It was left there on the landing, abandoned, unneeded, for the cat's dark work had only just seated. Downstairs, down below, the children were laid, an eye for an eye, and a quaid for a quaid. The cats slurped on their colons and tore out their hearts, Things 1 and 2 satisfied with their varts. And all the long while, as each organ removed, the children screamed and screamed, and even the devil would have been moved to stop this wicked cat in the darkest of play on that rainy, cool, darkened fall day. But the deeds were soon done and the evidence cleared, Thing 1 and Thing 2 drinking all remnants that they endured. The cat and his friends absconded that day, left not a trace in the house for mother to say that something had happened to her darling kids dear. Simply gone, simply lost, never ever would she hear their sweet voices again, for the devil had come and simply made waste of her precious burdensome. All she ever found were two peculiar dolls that took on their likenesses, the children themselves. Now only dark thralls. Behind those dolls' eyes the children did peer, trapped forever in the dark of that porcelain India. Should they tell her about it, and what should they do? What would you do if the cat came for you?